A very good afternoon to all the students present today for the online lecture for third year BCom semester 5 for the subject of management. I, Professor Shivangi Sethi, warmly welcome one and all. Now, I hope you have attended the previous lectures on management where we not only discussed about the syllabus structure, but we also started with the first unit of risk management. We have already talked about risk management in 2 lectures. I would just be showing you the topics once again so that you get an idea about what are the things already covered and what are the new topics that we shall be covering today. On the above slide, you can see all the contents for chapter number 1 of risk management, where in the previous 2 lectures we have understood about the meaning of risk. I gave you an understanding in detail as to how risk and uncertainty are different. We also revised the same in the previous lecture. Thereafter, we had started with the topic of business risk and financial risk as to what is the meaning of both of them. Lastly, we also had done with the nature of risk. I would revise the third and the fourth topic today again, and thereafter we begin with the new topic for the day, that is topic number 5, causes of risk. So we have done with the meaning of risk, risk versus uncertainty. With different examples, I made you understand how risk and how uncertainty are two different terms. Lastly, you had understood even a comparison between the risk and uncertainty. So in the previous lecture, I had explained you the topic on business risk and financial risk, where I told you that the risk pertaining to the entity or pertaining to the business enterprise due to number of changes in the micro and the macro environment is nothing but a business risk. But on the other hand, the risk that is arising due to the use of debt funds. When I say debt funds, I'm meaning to say the use of borrowed funds. It was a financial risk. When an enterprise is borrowing funds from outside, from the borrowers, the risk of payment of a fixed interest or fixed dividend results into a financial risk. Now, definitely, I'm not going to go again into detail because we have already discussed the topics in the previous lecture. You can always go through the topic and let me know for any doubts in the Google Classroom. So these were the things we had done previously. We had understood with the definition of business risk that the risk of having a reduction in the profits or incurring losses. Why losses? Because there are a number of changes that are ever taking place in the environment, whether micro or macro, because of which a business unit faces risk. Lastly, I also explained you that the risk is unavoidable in nature. The businesses with prior planning can control the risk, can minimize the adverse consequences of the same, but cannot completely avoid the risk. So we have talked about the micro and the macro environment, different factors such as changes in the customer's taste and preferences, the inflation, could be the policies of government, natural calamities, and whatnot. We are going to talk about these factors in detail in today's lecture. So these were different kinds of business risk that we had studied previously. If you remember, it was the compliance risk, that is due to the change in government laws. Operational risk due to the changes taking place in the business operations, could be a machinery breakdown, could be any failure in the process. Reputation risk, that is a risk to the prestige, reputation of the business due to a number of factors mentioned. And lastly, a strategic risk, that is the risk due to the failure of a strategy or failure of a long-term plan that has been defined by an organization. Financial risk we had studied, I very well told you that the risk arising due to the use of debt finance, borrowed finance, is nothing but a financial risk. Because whenever you borrow money from outside, you always have a risk of making the payment in time, whether payment of interest or payment of dividend. Because as we know, the shareholders are to be paid dividend, and when you borrow money from outside as a loan or from the debenture holders, you have to pay a fixed interest. We had studied with the categories of financial risk, could be the market risk, exchange rate risk, credit risk, or the liquidity risk. I hope the topics were clear to you previously. In the previous lecture, we also discussed about the nature of risk, wherein we have studied broadly some 10 points. Very quickly, just go through once again. So, point number one, we had studied that in some kind of risks, there may be some opportunities for gains as well. See, risks may give you either a potential of a loss or may sometimes also give you some hidden opportunities for gains. As a manager, we should be able to optimally utilize or exploit the opportunity hidden in that risk. We had seen that risks depends on time, because the ancient time or the older time was quite simple. But if I talk about the modern day, it is quite complex, changes taking place every now and then. So definitely the risk is much more in today's days as compared to the previous time. It depends on the size of business. So I had told you that a large sized enterprise will have lesser flexibility, and that is why we'll have to face more risk. But a business which is smaller will have more flexibility and can adopt to the changes very quickly. That is why it will not have to face more risk. Number four, it depends on the nature of business also. Now, when I say the nature of business, it could be either a business selling the manufacturing or selling or manufacturing the basic items, the items of necessities, could be food, clothing. So they are not going to be affected much by the changes, as the demand is already very inelastic. But if I talk about the ones who are producing the luxurious items, definitely they will be affected with the changes as the demand is elastic. Lastly, it depends on the terms of sales, whether cash or credit. So you should know that credit sales definitely have more amount of risk associated, because we know that if the debtors don't pay us the money, we have to bear the risk of bad debts as well. Very quickly go through the remaining points we had done in the previous lecture, that it depends on the degree of competition, whether you are a monopolist or whether you have number of rivals surrounded to you. If you are a monopolist, the changes will not affect you much, because you are the sole seller or the sole producer of the product. So you face less risk as compared to those whose products are surrounded by so many substitute products or so many rival firms. Number seven, it is dependent on the competence of management. I had told you that if the management is competent enough, if the management knows how to manage the risk, definitely its consequences can be minimized. Number eight, as I told you previously, it is difficult. I cannot say it is impossible, but it is difficult to forecast the possibility of occurrence of business risk. You may know what a risk is, but when would it occur? Which outcome would occur or not occur? It is very difficult to forecast the same. Number nine depends on the age of the business enterprise. Now, when I say age, it depends how old a business is and how new a business is. If a business is quite new, it has to face more risk as compared to an older one, which has an experience and has the past data to it to manage the risk. Lastly, they are unavoidable. Of course, you can control them. You cannot avoid them completely, but by proper planning, by proper experience and information, you can at least minimize the adverse consequences of the same. So this was all that we had done in the previous lecture. I hope those who did not attend the lectures got an overview about the topics covered initially, and those who had attended got a rapid revision for the same. Now, without any further ado, we would begin with the new topic. Now, this is the nature of risk at a glance that you can see. So the new topic for the day, it is the causes of the risk. The lecture today will focus on this broad topic as to why the risks occur, or what are the different causes, what are the different factors that tends to create a risk. By now, all should know what is risk. So risk was any potential or any possibility of a loss or a bad thing happening. But why does these things happen? Or what creates the potential for loss? Those causes you are going to understand. Before I jump on to the causes, let me talk little on the following slide. So you need to understand that there are some risks which are common to all the human beings, irrespective of what the person is or what the person is doing. There are some risks which are prevalent everywhere. It could be a natural calamity, it could be a disaster, it could be, let us say, fire, or as it is mentioned, theft, could be flood, earthquakes, cyclones, war, civil rights, etc. These things will happen, or these things will be a risk for each and every human being. Right. So these are not only peculiar to one or the other business. And these risks can also be insured from the insurance company. So as you can see, some risks are insurable with the insurance companies. You can take a fire insurance, you can take a marine insurance. Similarly, you can also take a life insurance. So these common problems, common risks, which are applicable to every human being, can be insured. But we are broadly talking about the risks which are pertaining or associated to a business. That is to say, we are considering the business risk. So, business risks are those which are peculiar only to a business. And by and large, they are also uninsurable or non insurable, because we are talking about the risk associated to the business that is arising due to different changes taking place in the economic environment. And those changes you cannot get insured of. So, with this discussion, let us begin one by one with different causes of risk. Before we get into the causes of risk or the types of business risk, you can just have a look on all the different causes that you have to study for the topic. To begin with, it can be a natural cause, it can be a political cause, it can be a social cause, economic cause, a managerial cause, competitive cause, technological cause, and the miscellaneous causes of business risk. Having a look at all the causes of business risk, I hope you are at least familiar with every word whatsoever. You all have heard about these factors or these causes that tends to create risk. But we are basically concerned with how these things create risk in a business organization, or how a business faces risk due to these causes. So let us discuss one by one every cause of it. A very simple yet interesting answer. So under the causes of risk, you have number one, the natural causes. Now, without even reading or without even understanding, you all know that natural causes are the risk which are pertaining to every individual, not only peculiarly to a business. It is applicable to every human being whatsoever. We all face risk that are due to the actions of nature. That is none other than the natural causes. To name a few, you can see on the right hand side, it could be the risk resulting from the natural causes such as floods, earthquake, it could be a hurricane, it could be a cyclone, a drought, fire, lightning, any unexpected change in the normal weather conditions. So these things are quite natural. Man cannot have a control over it, and hence you can see it is uncontrollable in nature. Even just a few days back, you could remember that there were cyclones hitting the country. So these things are quite natural, and these things are not controllable. Of course, you can plan for them if forecasted initially, but these risks will arise and they are not controlled by a business enterprise. I can give you a very simple example that when a farmer is plowing crops or when he is doing farming, he also has a risk of either very little rainfall or excessive rainfall. Both are not good for the crops and both can tend to damage or destroy the crops of the farmer. So, these are the natural causes of risk that are imposed by nature over which no one has any control. So, moving on to the second type of risk, that is political risk. Now, are you aware about how risk is created through politics? Or what do you mean by political risk? So, simply, if I can say, the government laws also change, or there may be a change in the laws that are framed or the rules that are framed by the government. There could be some form of restrictions that can be imposed by government. So all these things also tend to create a political risk. How and why a business is affected, we shall be seeing just now. So the risks due to political causes may arise in the form of number one, price regulations. Now, I have tried to give you some examples for every risk and I shall be explaining the same. Price regulations, I can say that sometimes government creates such kind of laws or such kind of rules where we need to sell the product at a certain price only. You all have heard about MRP. What is the full form of MRP? So it is the maximum retail price. If there is a law that is made by the government that the product can only be sold at that rate or that price, every business organization will have to fulfill the same, will have to accept the same. So it will restrict the profit margins for the businessmen. Let us say earlier the businessman was able to sell the product at a higher price, but due to the regulations imposed by the government on the price, now the businessman's profits would be restricted. You all might also be aware about the Minimum Wage Act, where the government has shown as to how much minimum wages should be received by the employees. So even due to these kind of laws and regulations, which a businessman has to abide by compulsorily, will bring change and will cause a risk in the business. The second risk that a businessman can face, it is high rates of taxes. Now, the government may bring a change in the tax rate, or if the government tends to increase the tax rate, it will occupy a larger portion, a larger chunk of the business profits. So, a businessman will always have a risk of high rate of taxes. We know that how some time back when GST was introduced, evading all the other taxes and how it came into picture also had its effect on every business unit. So whenever these changes take place in the economy, in the politics, it brings a change, it brings a risk for the business as well. So sharing high rate of taxes with the government will take away a major part of business profit, again creating a risk for the business organization. It could also be an unfavorable economic policy that is discouraging some lines of business activities. It may happen that there is some kind of economic policy being laid down by the government or being introduced by the government, which is favorable for some but could be unfavorable for some business organizations. It can happen that a policy which is favorable for X unit is unfavorable for Y. So if there are any policies introduced that tends to become unfavorable for us as a business, it will create a risk for us and ultimately we will be facing a loss. I can give you an example that if a manufacturer was producing a product XYZ, if after some time the government comes up with a rule that there has to be a ban on so and so product because of any sort of danger that is connected to it. Now, if the government puts a ban on our product and we have to stop its manufacturing, definitely it will affect the business and we would be out of the market. Lastly, it could also be any strict legislations that is imposed on business enterprises. When I say strict legislations, it can be any rule or regulation that is strictly imposed on the business, which I, as a businessman, will have to follow. Let us say how there is a limit to the creation of pollution by the industries that is imposed by the government. So these kind of rules, regulations, a businessman has to follow. In case he does not do that, it will impose a risk for the same. So I can say that these are those causes that are political in nature, that are imposed by, I can say, the government. So these things will affect a business and it will create a risk factor for the same. Number three, if we talk about very simple social cause of risk. When I say social cause or when I say society, it is we customers who are included in that society. So social cause is nothing but those risks which are created due to the changes taking place in the society and among the people who are living in the society. Ultimately, a businessman or the business is running due to its customers. We treat customer as the king of the market. So when there will be some changes within the society and among the tastes of the customers, it will also create a risk for the business organization. So the risks due to social causes are those which may arise from the consumer behavior or due to changes taking place in the social scenario. When there is a change in the society, when there is a change in the ideologies of the customers, it will bring about its impact on the demand of products of the business and ultimately will create a risk for the same. When I talk about the changes, we are talking about the unfavorable changes that are unfavorable to a business. Let us see a few examples of social risk. So very easily, you know that it could be a change in fashion. We know that technology is changing rapidly. There is globalization and there are a number of changes that keep on taking place even in the trend and the fashion going on. As a business organization, if we don't keep ourselves updated, the products will ultimately get obsolete and the demand will decline. So when there is a change in fashion going on, it will create a risk for the business. A businessman will have to change with the changing fashion, otherwise it will be out from the market. So these changes will create a social risk for the business. It could be the change in the taste or the preferences of customers. As I said, customer is the king of market. If customers' taste and preferences change, that is to say, if initially they were using our product, they were buying our product, but because of change in their taste or preference, they may switch over to a competitor's product also, or to the product of your rivals. As a businessman, no one wants that. So we need to change with these changes also. If not, then it will create a risk for the same. It could be changes in the income of customer. When the income of customer changes, it is directly connected with the amount of expenditure or the purchasing power that a customer will hold. When I say change in income, it may happen that the income of customer gets reduced. He may not have enough purchasing power and maybe would decline its consumption expenditure as well. When such a condition takes place, it will affect us as a business and will affect the demand of our products. On the other hand, it may also happen that if the income of customers increases, meaning to say if the income is more, their purchasing power may be increased, because of which they may switch over to some luxurious products, avoiding our product. That is, they may shift to some higher substitutes, and the demand for our product ultimately declines. So, such changes may be unfavorable to few businesses and may create risk for the same. Lastly, it could also be changing social values, leading to a new pattern of social life, etc. That is to say, there may be a change going on in the values or in the ideologies of the society at large. To give you example from the current scenario, we know how the demands for products like the sanitizers, the masks have increased by leaps and bounds. Everybody, if you see now, has a bottle of sanitizer and wants to maintain the hygiene. So due to the change in this kind of a social value, it has created altogether a new pattern of social life, because of which also it may create some kind of risk for few businesses. Could be favorable for some and could be unfavorable for some. So these were the social causes that could result into a risk for a business. I hope it is clear to you. Moving on with number 4, it could be the economic causes. Now, very simple to say that the changes taking place in the economic conditions. We live in an economy, the business is running in an economy. So any change that is taking place within that may prove to be a risk for the business. So I can give you few examples pertaining to the same. It could be rising cost of raw materials due to inflation or crop failure. When a business is running or when the business is making production, it requires raw materials to produce the final product, the finished product. Imagine a situation when the cost of raw material itself increases. It will definitely increase the cost of production also, will have its impact on the selling price. Ultimately, when the sales price is increased, the customers may reduce the demand and the profit of the firm may be reduced. So it is an economic risk that is imposed on the business. We all know about inflation and deflation. So inflation, where the prices, the cost of raw material is increasing, it will affect the demand for our product. Lastly, it could be a crop failure also, that is damage to the crop. So ultimately, when the crops are getting damaged, and if those crops were an input for us to make the final product, it will create a risk for the business. Number 2, we know that we live in an economy where we have boom, we have recession as well. There can be a prosperity phase going on, but there can be a recession, a depression also. So there could be an economic recession in the industry, overall recession in the industry, which may lead to poor demand. That is to say, when the economy is hit by recession, as we see today, there are so many there is a high rise in the unemployment going on. There is economic recession going on in the industry. So definitely the demand would be reduced. It definitely affects the income of customer. Ultimately, it also affects their purchasing power and the expenditure. So a businessman will suffer through the recession as well. It could be increase in the rate of interest, market borrowings getting costlier. It may happen that the banks may increase the rate of interest and the loans and advances become quite expensive. When the borrowings become expensive, becomes costlier, it will have its direct impact on the cost of production for a businessman, because the raising of funds becomes expensive. It will have its impact on the cost of production also. Ultimately, when the selling price needs to be increased, there will be a reduction in the demand. And lastly, I think you are aware about the pessimistic capital market conditions. The market can either be optimistic or pessimistic. When I say pessimistic, people, instead of becoming risk takers, they become safety seekers. They want to keep their money safe. They don't want to invest elsewhere. They don't want to take any risk of investment in the companies. Thereby, when they tend to save the money more and not investing elsewhere, it will impose a risk on the business also. So these were the economic causes that are imposed by the economy and has its adverse consequences, implications on the business at large. So moving on to the fifth cause, it is the managerial cause. Now, as I said, there are some risks that are created due to the changes in the micro environment and some in the macro environment. Up till now, whatever you studied, the political cause, the natural cause, the economic cause, the social cause, all were part of the macro environment. That is to say, the external environment. We as a businessman cannot control them. We cannot avoid them as well. But there could be some causes that are due to the factors present internally in an organization. And such causes are the above ones, that is the managerial cause. It may happen at times that the risk is involved due to the poor management in the business itself. So risks due to managerial causes may be just a few examples I would state. So it could be wrong estimation of demand by the management. That is to say, the management itself could not estimate and judge the changes in the demand of products, because of which the supply could not have been matched with, ultimately resulting in the loss for a business. It could be the poor labor management relations. That is, it may happen that there are no cordial relations between the employer and the employee. There are conflicts going on, there are disputes going on. The employees may form a trade union and thereby they would present their grievances, which, if not solved, they may also go on to strikes. So, these things also tend to create a very risky environment for the business. It could be inefficient operational life of the business enterprise due to incompetent or untrained managerial staff. As I said, your staff itself is not competent, is not efficient, or is not trained. The operations running in the business enterprise tend to get inefficient. The people working in your organization have to be trained as to how would they make use of machinery, how would they do the production, how would they run the process, etc. If they are not trained with the same, it will affect the business at large and thereby imposing the risk for the same. Moving to the sixth cause, it is the competitive cause. Again, as the name suggests, it is the risk that is imposed or the risk that is created because of the number of competitors that are prevailing. A firm may be running its business in the market, maybe producing some XYZ product. But if it is surrounded by a number of competitors who are selling the substitute of the same product as you are selling, their strategies will definitely affect on the demand of our product. Imagine a situation where you are selling a product for 20 rupees and your competitor starts selling it for 18 rupees. You will have a loss of customer. Or it may happen that you both are selling at 20 but the rival is selling it at a even better quality. So it will affect again the demand of your product. These kind of changes in strategies of competitors has its indirect bearing on the demand for the product of our business as well. So it could be due to various causes such as entry of unduly large number of persons in the same line of business activity. It may happen that initially we did not have more competitors, or maybe we were having a sole monopoly in selling the product, but due to some technological advances or due to some changes or due to globalization, there are now number of people selling the same product. Definitely we as business will face the risk. It could be entry of MNCs, that is multinational companies, threatening the very survival of domestic companies. We all know that due to globalization and world becoming a global village, we have number of MNCs who have spread all over the world. Ultimately, it will affect the demand of products for the domestic companies. So these were your competitive causes. Going to number 7, it is the technological cause. It is needless to say that technology is changing by leaps and bounds. You name a thing today, and after some time, it would have been replaced by something new altogether. We have changes taking place not only in the technology but also in the techniques of production. There could be changes or advancement in the raw material, in the machinery that we use, and there are a number of processes also that have changed in terms of technology. There could be number of products that you are using which have changed over a period of time. So even the change in technology tends to create risk for the business, because as I said earlier, if you don't change with the changing environment, you and your product will get obsolete in the near future and its demand tends to go down. So the business experts generally call this phase, as you can see in bold terms, it is technological revolution, wherein new technology will render the old technology obsolete. It will be out of use. You all know how the typewriters got replaced with the personal computers and how they got replaced with desktops, palm tops, tablets, mobile phones, and whatnot. So there is definitely going to be a change of technology here and there. But we as business unit need to grab those changes as technology and not to consider them as risk, because if you don't change with the same, it will create severe financial losses to the firms. If you still keep on operating with the old technology, it will get your firm out of the market. So they are virtually compelled to install new technology to ensure their survival amidst intensely competitive conditions. Because if we don't change with the changing technology, definitely the demand gets shifted to those rival and those competitive firms who have adopted with the new technology and have got themselves updated. I hope you were clear up till now. Moving to the last part of the topic, the miscellaneous causes. When I say miscellaneous causes, these are some causes which are not very repetitive or which are not frequently occurring every now and then. These may depend on the nature of business and may be different for different businesses. These are those causes which up till now we have not covered in any of the other head, and such kind of miscellaneous causes could be, it could be insolvency of a customer, that is a debtor becomes insolvent, bankrupt, and is not able to pay you the money, so it will be a bad debt to the business, it would be a loss to the business, so it is a risk. It could be the workers going on strike. So if a business is facing a strike position by the workers, the production comes to a standstill, ultimately creating a risk for the business. It could be a sudden power failure, that is, the electricity goes out and the machineries are not able to run. The production process comes to a stop. When such a condition takes place, the supply would be reduced and the businesses face a loss. It could be a premature death of an expert employee or a manager. Again, these things may happen for some business organizations where, unfortunately, the key person in your organization, one who is an expert, tends to die. It will affect the business as a whole. it will affect the efficiency of the business as a whole. Lastly, it could be a speculative loss also, that is the loss created due to some kind of speculative conditions. It could be any kind of estimation of a price rise or a price fall that the business had expected. If those things don't take place, it will create a loss for the business. We would be talking on the miscellaneous causes in the next lecture more. And I hope the topic for today, that is the causes of business risk, was clear to you. If you have any doubts pertaining to the same, you can comment the doubts in the Google Classroom for your respective class. We meet in the next lecture with the new topic for the chapter. Thank you so much for the day. Until then, happy learning.